To enter, send me your parents' brains. Or write parents' brains on a 3x5 card. This is your spooky spot on the Kidrobot Treehouse of Horror, Donut Homer Simpson, and Zombie Krusty the Clown. Presenting the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror 2-pack minifigure set with new versions of your favorite characters from Kidrobot's Blind Box minifigure series based on the classic Halloween episodes. This 2-pack set features frosted pink sprinkled Donut Homer and the glow-in-the-dark Krusty the Clown zombie 3-inch vinyl figure with brain accessory. This special collectible 2-pack minifigure set can only be found at kidrobot.com and IamRetro.com. Before we get down to details, I'd like to send a shrieking shout-out thanks to the folks over at Kidrobot that kindly provided this 2-pack of Zombie Krusty the Clown and Donut Sprinkled Homer that we could have a look at in this review. If you guys are interested and would like to pick these ones up for yourself, you can head on actually over to www.kidrobot.com, check out their store where these should be available still, along with a bunch of other cool collectibles as well. With that being said, we're going to start things off first, I think, by looking at Zombie Krusty the Clown. Specifically, just not that it really matters, but the person behind the camera, that's me, by the way. I actually like him. He's my favorite of the two. But we're going to look at him first because he also comes included with the accessory. I can't really imagine that Homer's too interested in eating brains. He's too busy snacking away on the side of his head. But Zombie Krusty the Clown does, in fact, come included with a brain. It could be some child's submitted parent's brain, or again, you could just write that on a 3x5-inch card as well if you'd like. I can't help but notice that there's been a bite taken out from the side of the brain. I guess Krusty may have gotten hungry. Unfortunately, though, while this is a nice-looking brain, it kind of looks like two halves of chewed-up, pre-chewed gum stuck together like a pre-chewed gum sandwich with a bite taken from the side. Unfortunately, it doesn't actually fit in his hand, so it's more something you can kind of just display along next to him, like that. And that's basically all the brain is going to serve a purpose for. Picking, though, up Zombie Krusty, getting a closer look at him, he's a much darker looking Krusty than he actually is in the cartoon. In the cartoon, he's just his regular colors with really dark bags under his eyes. But they've gone to the full effect of him being dead for quite some time here. And you have a more discolored looking Krusty here, all in a dark gray color. At least gray up here, more of a lighter color down below. Can't help but also notice as well, it seems like he's got the glove on the one side and missing a glove on the other side. The coloring on this guy is really dark, dingy, and fantastic. Of course, the back of his hair, or where his hair is on the back, does kind of remind me like corn. Or like the top of an asparagus. If you kind of look at it like this, it doesn't kind of look like the top of an... Just remember when you're cutting asparagus, you have to cut where it doesn't break, or break it where it doesn't. The harder, tougher area of the asparagus. I can't stand when somebody makes asparagus. Why are we going off on a tangent like this? And doesn't break off that woodier bit on the end of it. It kind of looks like the top of an asparagus. What were we talking about? Ah, yes, Zombie Krusty. I do like the fact he's got his little tongue sticking out. That really does sell it to me, the fact that this guy is dead. Now, of course, they do have limited articulation. If you were a big fan of like the original Kidrobot blind box collectibles of The Simpsons, you're basically going to be expecting the same kind of stuff happening here from Krusty, and eventually when we look at Donut Homer as well. For the articulation on Krusty, love that little tongue sticking out, it's adorable. His head rotates back and forth, and because as well he's dead, you don't have to worry that's going to snap his neck and kill him further. He's dead. I don't think he can get further dead. Can he get deader than dead? Somebody look into that for me. Research it, and as quickly as you can possibly make it back to the studio, let me know down below in the comment section. Can he be deader than dead? But anyways, his head rotates all the way around. I can't help but notice as well that his forehead seems very slick. Like he's been running his head in butter, like a butter stick. I don't know why. Is that the sound that something makes when you're running it through butter? I know certainly when I'm running asparagus through butter, it doesn't go, eh. Anyways, head rotates all the way around. His arms go back and forth as well. Kind of would have liked if these guys could have come included with some accessories as well. Like even if Krusty had included that little 3x5 card that says Parents' Brains on it. I think that would have been a fun touch. But even though they do technically have the hands for the job, they just don't have any other accessories other than, of course, the brain. The brain. Beelining our way over now to Donut Sprinkled Homer. Of course, this is Homer as it's the date. What's the episode called with Flanders? Of course, he goes on trial. It's going to come to me at some point. But the end, of course, is Homer's been eating those donuts, and Devil Flanders, of course, turns him into one big giant donut. And he proceeds to eat himself. I'm so yummy. I'm so delicious, I think is what he actually says. But clearly you can see here, there's regular Homer Simpson with a very large, giant donut head. He has snacked away a bit on the side of his face. How far could you go eating your head if your head was a donut? Let me know down below in the comments. I guess you'd want to stop around the area of the eye, because after that, you're starting to impair your vision. I would basically want to avoid things like ears, eyes, nose, mouth. I could probably still settle being able to eat everything around those areas. What a morbid conversation that we're having. And I know everybody's kind of finger pointing me. I know I was the one that started that. I do like the fact that they've made this guy quite colorful, and as you can see, by the fact that there's a little bit of frosting down below, Homer has already engulfed some of himself. Which is a bit strange, really, because we have not yet even gotten to the frosting area, and yet on his face there seems to be frosting. I'm willing to deduce, I'm not Columbo, but I'm guessing to think that that frosting was from another donut he's eaten, not his own donut, because clearly like, the frosting is still there. Several different sprinkles of different colors, all the colors of the rainbow, or most of the colors at least. The sculpting of the head. I like the fact that the back of the head actually is raised. In some areas, yes, admittingly, it's a little messier right here. The black has found its way onto the top of Homer's head, or the rest of Homer's head. Kind of actually looks like it's just regular icing that somebody's zigzagged. It kind of looks like Charlie Brown's shirt as well. But the colors, for the most part, are pretty clean, other than that one little area here on the back of his hair. For the rest of it, it's not terrible. Yeah, there's a little area right here, but it is not bad at all. Despite for the size of Homer's head, he still allows his head to rotate all the way around. He can, of course, bring his arms back and forth as well. And also just pointing out the fact he does have the painted in tie. Very nice paint work, a panel lining at least on the tie and the collar piece of his shirt. And of course, as well, the branding of Kidrobot is always present on the bottoms of these figures' feet. So not only do you have Kidrobot, but you also have Matt Groening as well, 20th Century Fox. Again, nice little collectibles. The only thing that really could have made these collectibles that much better is by bringing in some necessary accessories. Not that they necessarily had to have them. I mean, really, yes, you get the wad sandwich gum accessory. But other than that, it would have been nice if they could have included some other accessories as well. The 3x5 card, I'm sure, is something I probably could make myself and just put that into Krusty's hand. Maybe I might even do that. Get something small enough and just write on their Parents' Brains. But a really nice, fun set from the folks over at Kidrobot. Of course, Zombie Krusty and Donut Homer come from two completely different Treehouse of Horror episodes. Zombie Krusty comes from a personal favorite of mine, Dial Z for Zombie, while Donut Homer comes from The Devil and Homer Simpson. I'm really sure why I couldn't remember that in this review. What is your favorite story in the Treehouse of Horror specials? Not the actual special, but which one is your personal favorite story? Dial for Z for Zombie is right up there, I think, with The Shining and The Gremlin, or The Shinning and The Gremlin. I think those are my three favorite of all the Treehouse of Horrors. And I mean, none of the Treehouse of Horrors that are coming out now in recent Simpsons seasons aren't anywhere as good as the earlier stuff. If you get like those first 4 or 5 Treehouse of Horrors, that's where the money is. And every single year, it usually was a case in my household. I would always marathon through the Treehouse of Horrors. I would usually get to about, I guess, the 10th Treehouse of Horror special. And then after that, I would just say, you know what, I don't want to watch any more Treehouse of Horrors. Like I said, that the first 4 or 5, I think, is really where the money is. A big thank you, though, to the folks over at Kidrobot that provided this sample of the Treehouse of Horror 2-pack that had Zombie Krusty and Donut Homer. What do you guys think of this set? Let me know also down below in the comments section. And if you'd like more spookerific reviews during the month of Spottober, There are a couple of things that you can do. No, you don't have to turn your head into a donut. No, you don't have to sell your soul to the devil. But you could do something simple by hitting that subscribe button down below. You can also do something simple like turning the bell notification. And yes, you can keep your ghoulish peepers peeled, because we will be looking at more spookerific reviews in the not so distant future. As always, guys, thanks for watching. See you guys next time.